We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender, and it's all about the young police from Jamaica. Seeing Young Police Channel. Big up yourself, Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Blessed love, Rastafari.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yeah, so those of you who have been tuning into the Jamaica Young Police Channel for the past 5 years, you know that the journey has been rough. It hasn't been smooth sailing. You know that our commentary over here is not the ordinary commentary, because we're not doing things because we're doing it for views. We're doing it because we want back our country. We want back our highland back from these criminal carousings, criminal-minded people, and people who promote criminality. So you're looking at right now at the thumbnail of a man by the name of Buju Banton. His correct name is Mark Myrie. I would say that I know him, but not as a friend, because I don't friend certain kind of people. People who are destructive in destroying other people's life. I stay away from them. I wasn't the kind of detective in Jamaica who can make friends with people because of their success, no, or their status, celebrity status in Jamaica. You would not see me turn up at a party not being invited. So I wasn't that kind of socially kind of guy. I was a crime fighter and my circle was very limited. I knew many people, good, bad and the indifferent. And I normally associate myself with people of a certain character, reputation and integrity. So you would never see me in the company of the likes of a Buju Banton. Yes. So you know that we have done several videos about him. Yes. It all started with one of our main contributor, former military intelligence officer, someone who knew Buju Banton very well and who was an audacity on him. And we have, made several videos about him and let a man who was responsible, who has contributed to his Still Shiloh album. Yes, the man that did most of the writings, if not all. And it's on the channel, the man's sister. And the man's name is Sebastian. And Buju Banton had destroyed him by giving him Caesar spliff, destroy his mental faculty. And eventually, the man was killed by Gilly Priest and his son along with Washington Boulevard. You can hear it from the man's sister, because the man was killed, Sebastian. Most people knew him and knew him in the music industry. So you know that even before Buju Banton was allowed to re-enter the United States of America, we have been doing several videos about him. Not putting him in any light, because Buju Banton is not your ordinary kind of artist. He's the kind of Rasta man that you call the... He's not a Rasta, he's a dread. And dread do dreadful things. This is not a man who embraces righteousness. This is a wicked man. Yeah, so you know that as we stated before, you know that Buju Banton, his fans and supporters are sending death threats to JYP, to the Jamaica Young Police Channel, accusing me, Sir Porter, of being responsible for the boycott of his shows and sales and tickets and all of that. Well, look, if so be the case, so that's how it is. But we don't believe that people like him, that others, must shell out their money to support someone who is evil. We see Buju Banton as a wicked man. You're wicked. And we can say it publicly, privately, and anywhere. And we just want you to know that we're not afraid of anyone. Period. We only have one life, and we have been doing this for our entire life. We have been making enemies here, there, and everywhere. And the reason why we have been making enemies throughout our lives, not because we are doing anything wrong, is because we are doing the right things, and we are not hypocrites over here. So that's one of the main reasons. So, as we always tell you before, before we start a channel, just look at the LCD and you will know where we're going. So, in regards to this, it's the death threats that we have been receiving from his fans. Dummies, yes, dummies and ignoramus. But we can tell you that yes, and we know that most Jamaican people, once they like you, yes, you cannot do anything wrong. But for us, no, we're not into that. We don't do the like business. If you do something wrong, we're gonna let you know and we're gonna tell you. And that's how it is with us here at the Jamaica Young Police Channel. As I stated before, I have even people in my own family who do not even like me. Period. Yes, I'm telling you, both sides. I understand, because I am the kind of person where I don't believe in who is right, is what is right. So Buju Banton supporters and fans have taken their aggression to a dangerous level, issuing death threats against the Jamaica Young Police Channel, accusing Sir Porter of orchestrating a boycott that has led to the decline in sales of tickets for Buju Banton's Overcomer tour. We'd not call it an Overcomer tour, because this man is the epitome of evil. What is there is overcoming. What, that he got caught tasting coke and pretend as if he was framed, because Jamaican people, they are not only that they are dummies, some of them are dummies, but they are ignoramus, illiterate, ignorant, and they are easily can ignore their conscience and ignore the truth, because we were raised in a society where we have been taught, yes, we have been desensitized to accept criminality, and it's not about what is right, who is right. So because of Buju Banton, he's right. And as one of a few of Vybz Kartel supporters and fans, they have called and stated that they know that we are the ones who are behind, and they saw the video that Buju Banton, well, we're not going to play it for him, and he's ranting. And they're saying that at least they're artists. Yes, they are saying their artists answer about being released from prison and he's free, he's not a convicted murderer, and the court said that he's free, and at least he has taken questions about it. But to date, no one asked Buju Banton about him and his coke dealing. Yes, and he has never apologized to his fans, because these people, they are dummies, loonies. Yeah, we'll just say it as it is. So these baseless accusations are rooted in a long-term standing campaign of hostility against Buju Banton, which began long before he was even allowed back into the United States of America. So when he's coming out now saying that it's the gays who are behind the campaign, he's just lying, because the people that let him in are the gays. Those of us who live in the United States of America would know that the Democratic Party, the current administration, if you are not supporting their gay LGBTQ plus rear admiral agenda, up is down and down is up, sideways is up and sideways is down, you cannot be, they won't allow you to even get a visa to visit their country. So remember that Buju Banton has his song that make him popular, Boom Bye Bye, Batty Boy Head. He has taken that from his catalog, and as usual, the people them forgive him. But yet, when he's talking about to rape women, use gun and rape women and killing farmers and witnesses, he hasn't removed them from his catalog. So that's where we have a problem with him. And that's why we say that he's not only is an hypocrite, he's an evil and dangerous man. So the core of these claims is a toxic mix of jealousy and resentment spurred by Buju's remarkable resurgence. Despite his imprisonment, his career has reached new heights, much to the frustration of those who have tried and failed to bring him down. So that is what they are saying. So these threats go further, suggesting that I, alongside with another YouTuber, have been systematically targeting influential figures like Buju Banton, Vybz Kartel, and yours truly, Spragga Benz, Ziggy Marley, and even political entities such as the PNP criminal organization. So they're accusing me of betraying my heritage, alleging that I am a traitor to the PNP criminal organization and the community I was born and raised in, and they have labeled me as an enemy who deserve nothing less than death. But let me be apparent and evident to those who believe that threats and intimidation will shape me. I have been preparing my entire life for such moments. Fear does not live here, period. My mother has told me that from I was young. Fear is imaginary. So that's why when a guy, when I was a detective, even when I joined the military, and at the time when I joined the military, some people who I even work with was like, man, I can't believe you joined the military. Look how them killing people over there in Iraq and this and all kind of thing. And, you shouldn't not do that and you got dead. And I told him, you only can die once. You understand? So at the time, when I was in the military and the war and then another war, and I am still here. I know that when your time comes, it doesn't matter. And most of the people that I have known, even back home in Jamaica and living here in America, the support was very slim to none when I was in the military. Everyone was, like predicting that, well, this is going to be NIU, you're soon dead and all of these things. And I am still here. I know that everyone in life have a purpose on this earth. And as for me, I just want back my country and I want it back from these people. So I am one of the most vigilant and determined informers on YouTube. And I have really taken the necessary steps by reporting these threats to the FBI. So to the ones who sent your voice messages have been documented and forwarded to the authorities. I refuse to give your threats any more oxygen by engaging in back and forth, but rest assured, your actions are under scrutiny and the legal wheels are already in motion. So if you understand what I mean, so I'm not going in depth, because most of you are, not only that you're ignoramus and dummies, but most of your IQ is like a stone. So to those who continue to spread hatred, violence and fear, know this. Your attempts to silence or intimidate me are in vain. I stand relentless, resolute, persistent, resilient, and utterly unafraid. I will not be swayed by fear-mongering. The truth is on my side and justice will ultimately be served. Now, to Buju Banton, Spragga Benz, Vybz Kartel, Ziggy Marley, and any other entertainers entangled in criminal activities, whether it be drug dealing or the killing of fellow Jamaicans, let me pose this question. Can any of you point to a single lie that I, Christopher Porter, has told about your celebrities, your politicians, or the PNP criminal organization? The truth is a powerful force and it is on my side. So let me clarify one thing to those who wish to silence me. I will not be silenced. My voice will not be stifled. And my mission is resolute. I am determined to reclaim my island from the clutches of those who are nothing short of evil, wicked, and destructive forces that have wreaked havoc on our society. These so-called celebrities, politicians, and supporters of the PNP criminal organization are a blight on Jamaica, preying on the illiterate and vulnerable, who may not fully understand the depth of their deception and corruption. For too long, These individuals have thrived on spreading chaos, violence and fear, exploiting the very people they claim to represent. They mask their crimes in the guise of fame and political power. But beneath the facade lies a dark truth. They are killers, manipulators and destroyers of our nation's soul. I will not stand by while my beloved island continues to suffer under the weight of their tyranny. It is time to expose the truth, illuminate their misdeeds, and fight for Jamaica's future. I am here to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves or too afraid to speak. Challenge the status quo and ensure justice is served. So to those who want to shut my mouth, know this: your attempt to silence me will fail. My voice is not just my own. It echoes the cries of a nation yearning for freedom from the grips of these corrupt, wicked and evil, malevolent forces. Together, we will reclaim and restore our island to the hands of those who genuinely care for its people and future. The time for change is now, and I will not rest until Jamaica is accessible for the chains of these so-called celebrities, politicians and the criminal organizations that support them. So let's not sugarcoat the truth about Buju Banton. So here's the harsh reality. 1. Buju Banton is a convicted cocaine dealer. This is not a minor offense. It is a crime that fuels violence, addiction, and the destruction of countless lives. His criminal record is a testament to this disregard for the law and the well-being of others. So those of you who are praising this man is an evil, satanic, and devilish man. 2. Buju Banton, he has a dark and disturbing history as a dog killer. Yes, Buju Banton killed a dog that he had given to Donovan Jermaine's son. It's on the channel. This speaks volumes about his character, revealing a cruel and callous nature. Anyone who harms an innocent animal is capable of far worse. Buju Banton has done that. 3. Buju Banton is the suspect in the death of Sebastian, Gilly Priest's son, and others. Evil attempted murder on his baby mother, his child, his baby mother, brother, and countless of others. These are not baseless accusations. Serious suspicions placed on him at the center of tragic and violent events. Evil to kill Detective Inspector Philip Dodd because he was arrested and charged by this man, and he had seek the service of one of his known PMP criminal organization, Donald Zeke Sips, to kill Detective Dodd. Buju Banton involvement in these deaths raises alarming question about the extent of his criminal activities. So we're just giving you a dossier about the man. 4. Buju Banton, he openly promote the use of guns and encourage men to rape women at gunpoint. So all of you women who support Buju Banton, you have no self-respect for yourself. So if any violence have been meted out to you by any man or any men, you deserve it because you are supporting a man who promotes violence against women. This is not just immoral, it's illegal and disconcerting. Buju Banton's words and actions contribute to a culture of violence and sexual assault, violating the fundamental rights of women and perpetuating fear and trauma. 5. Buju Banton advocates for the killing of witnesses and victims of heinous crimes like murder and rape. This is beyond reprehensible. He's encouraging the silencing of those who seek justice, attempting to cover up the most atrocious crime by promoting more violence and death. And this is the man that some of you praise. You people are sick, vile, evil, and empty, have no soul, decency, morality, or humanity in you. Buju Banton is not a good or honorable man. His actions and words have caused immeasurable harm. His influence is toxic, and it's time we recognize him for what he truly is, a horrible man who poses a grave danger to society. We must not allow his celebrity status to overshadow the reality of his actions. We must hold him accountable and protect our communities from the dangers he promotes. Buju Banton has leveraged his music to do far more than entertain. He has used it as a tool to normalize some of the most horrific crimes known to humanity, including rape, murder, and other offenses that trample on the fundamental human rights of individuals. This is not the mark of a good or honorable man. It's the behavior of someone who is truly reprehensible. Through his lyrics and public persona, Buju Banton has perpetuated a culture of violence and lawlessness, embedding dangerous ideology into the fabric of our society. His music has glorified acts of sexual violence, suggesting that such heinous crimes are acceptable or even justified. Imagine your mother, sister, daughter, cousin, neighbor, a man hold a gun to her face and sexually assault her. And that is one of his music that is celebrated and loved by people, in which they don't know that is a violation of people's human rights. I had spoken to a few women who have called, crying on the phone, don't want to be exposed publicly, and tell us that they appreciate what we have done in regards with Buju Banton, because they have been victims of rape. And there is no one out there, any voice of them. And they do believe it's because of his music why they were raped. Some of these women live overseas, various countries. Spoken to 3 women who live in the Bahamas, and to this day they are traumatized. They can't have a steady or a normal relationship because of the trauma of being raped by men that they knew in their community, but because they are very attractive, beautiful women and young at the time, and they just use guns and just took it from them. And this is the man, and they believe that his music helped contribute to them being victims, and now they are traumatized for the rest of their life. And yet you people are still there supporting this evil man. So this kind of messaging not only desensitize people to the trauma and pain inflicted by these acts, but also encourage those who commit them. By normalizing rape, he contributes to a climate of fear and oppression, where the safety and dignity of women and vulnerable individuals are continually under threats. Furthermore, Buju Banton music has often glorified murder and other violent crime, portraying them as acts of power or retribution. This toxic narrative encourage a disregard for life and the willingness to resort to deadly force, undermining the very principles of justice and humanity. His influence has sown a seed of violence that continues to grow, perpetuating cycles of crime and suffering in communities that can least afford it. It is crucial to recognize the true impact of Buju Banton's work. While some may view him as an artist or a cultural icon, his contribution have been nothing but positive. Yes, so some would say that his contribution has been anything but positive. He has used his platform to promote and normalize some of the darkest aspects of human behavior, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Buju Banton is not a good or honorable man. He has actively contributed to the degradation of society by glorifying acts that violate the most basic human rights. It is time we stop disregarding the damage he has caused and hold him accountable for the toxic influence he has exerted. We must stand up against the normalization of violence and abuse and work to protect the values of respect, dignity and justice that every human being deserves. So those of you who are in the diaspora or in Jamaica, talking about you want back your country and you're tired of the violence, by supporting this man, those of you, especially right now in the United States of America, and going to his show, I have seen people, I'm in Broward County, showing, I'm at the front row. As if this man is nothing honorable about this man. This man is a coke dealer. Do you know what coke has done to people, especially black people? This is not just a story. Buju Banton is not a righteous figure. Some believe him to be. He is one of the most sinister and evil individuals hiding behind the facade of dreadlocks and reggae music. He's not a dread. He's not a Rasta man. He's a dread. Dread do dreadful things. This is an evil and wicked man. Did you see what he have done to his baby mother Lana while she was living with him? This man married to another woman. I know that is his personal life, but also show you that this man have no morals, ethics, decency, truthfulness, and honesty about him. It was being the man that told Lana that Buju Banton was married to a woman in Africa. He did not tell her, and when she found out, he tried to kill her. But she was faster than him by reaching for a shotgun that he had then. And it's right here on the channel. You can hear it for yourself. For decades, he has been deeply involved in the cocaine trade, a dangerous and destructive enterprise that has ruined countless lives. His actions reveal a man who is not just flawed, but deeply wicked. Someone who thrives on suffering and exploitation of others. But most Jamaican people cannot think. And they don't understand that the people who are affiliated with this man, that you, if you have any decency or self-respect, you must abandon them. And we're going to talk about a certain individual because of the respect that people have for him. But they have no shame, no decency, nothing about them. These are people who pretend that they love poor people, but they are the foes that are destroying them. Shameless, heartless maggots. So this is not just a story of a man who made a mistake. Buju Banton's involvement in the coke trade spanned years, decades since the 1990s, making it clear that this is a deliberate and ongoing choice. He has willingly participated in an industry that fueled violence, addiction and death, showing complete disregard for the devastation left in its wake. His hands are stained with the pain and destruction of communities both near and far. So those still see him as righteous need to open their eyes to the truth. We know most Jamaican people, they are good people that they know to ignore their consciences. They love entertainers and entertainment. They don't care about people whose rights have been violated. They're always quick to defend people because they like them. Even they don't make people accountable for their actions. And then they wonder why Jamaica is going to hell. Look at yourself and you will see you are contributing to it. Because you have no decency, no honor, no respect, self-respect or self-love. You have low self-esteem and you see yourself in these people who are evil. So instead, they reflect the deeds of a person driven by greed, power, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to maintain his influence, even if it's mean aligning himself with pure evil. Calling Buju Banton evil is not an exaggeration. It is a fitting description for someone who has consciously chosen a path of wickedness. Buju Banton has not just flirted with darkness, he has fully embraced it, becoming a figure of corruption and malice. Buju Banton's legacy is not one of righteousness, but destruction, deceit, and spreading harm. It is time for you, our loyal viewers and subscribers and decent, ethical, law-abiding, self-love, high self-esteem, honest, decent, moral inclined people to see that Buju Banton for what he truly is, a devil in disguise, a man whose actions reveal a heart devoid of the values that he pretends to uphold. The world must recognize the true nature of his character and stop glorifying someone who has done so much damage. Evil like this cannot be ignored or excused. It must be exposed and condemned for the sake of all those who have suffered because of it. Buju Banton is not a righteous figure he portrays himself to be. In reality, he's one of the most evil, vicious, hateful and dangerous individuals hiding behind the guise of a dreadlock reggae artist. For decades, we know that he has been deeply entrenched in the cocaine trade, an illicit and destructive business that will wreak havoc on countless lives. His involvement in this dark world reveals a man who is not just flawed but profoundly wicked, someone who thrives on the suffering and addiction and destruction of others. Buju Banton's long-standing ties to cocaine trade and murders, killing, even of dogs, not a mere lapse in judgment or a one-time mistake. They are a part of a deliberate and ongoing pattern of criminal behavior that shows his true nature, a man driven by greed, power and total disregard for the well-being of those around him. The devastation that drug-like cocaine causes, ripping apart families, fueling violence and leaving communities in ruins, mean nothing to him as long as he profited from it. This man has no soul. He has no decency. He's not no righteous man. This man is an evil and devil in disguise. Those who still believe Buju Banton to be righteous are gravely mistaken and are dummies. Buju Banton's actions reveal a heart that is anything but pure, and his continued involvement in such nefarious activities paint a picture far from the ideal of peace, love and justice he pretends to uphold. Instead, Buju Banton's legacy is one of darkness, wickedness, evil and deceit, where his true allegiance lies with evil rather than righteousness. Calling Buju Banton evil is not hyperbole. It's accurately describing a man who has consciously chosen to walk a path of wickedness. He has embraced the worst aspect of humanity, becoming a figure of corruption and malice, hate. His influence has spread harm and despair rather than the positive change he claims to promote. It's time to strip away the facade and see Buju Banton for what he truly is, a devil in disguise, a man whose actions have left a trail of destruction in their wake. We must not glorify or excuse someone who has caused so much harm. Instead, we must expose and condemn his true nature, ensuring that the world knows the truth about the darkness behind his public persona. Buju Banton is far from the righteous figures he tries to portray. Behind the facade of a reggae artist and cultural icon lies a man deeply entrenched in evil, wickedness, with decades of involvement in the destructive cocaine trade. His action reveals a person driven by greed, power, and a total disregard for the suffering and destruction of others he causes. Despite his public persona, Buju Banton's true legacy is malice, evil, deceit, spite, greed, and harm. We must see him for what he truly is, a devil in disguise. Let's remind you, those of you who have a conscience, a soul, decency, honesty, love, not only for yourself but for others, and no longer glorify or excuse his wicked deeds. The truth must be exposed and his influence must be condemned for the safety and well-being of those he harmed. Buju Banton is the epitome of evil and is the devil in disguise. And for those of you who think that you can silence yours surely, think again. But make sure that wherever you see me or wants to harm me, make sure you have your ID with your next of kin. Because I can tell you that you won't be going to any ER. I'll send you straight to the departure line. And that's not only a promise, I will make sure that it's happened. So have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel.